Hi, it's me. Wowza. That last video was quite a doozy, but I certainly did not expect the reactions that came with that video. Every single comment that you guys shared with me was really inspiring and motivated me. So I just wanted to start this video out by saying thank you for trusting me with your stories and sharing your stories, because I do believe that perspective and experiences makes the world keep spinning. And with all those stories, I also want to apologize on behalf of the world that you have to choose one or the other when it comes to living your dream or surviving. It certainly should not be that way. With that being said, we persevere. So my thought process going into this week was that I might not have a lot of free time coming up, so why not do all my hobbies all at once, both old and new? Uncertainty is scary, and I'm not sure what tomorrow has in store for me. Pluto, I was about to lay down some heat, but I'll wait. All right, cool. Oh, thanks for hitting my mic on your way out. Uncertainty is scary, and I truly don't know what tomorrow is going to bring for me, but I do know one thing, and that is that I can make today great. And before we jump into this video, I just wanted to throw an idea out there, and I want you to take this with a grain of salt. Don't be like, oh my gosh, she's starting another project, because this is just me voicing my idea, putting the vibes out there and seeing what the vibes bring back, you know? But one thing I've always wanted to do in my life was start a podcast, but I never did because I never really had a subject that I was like super thrilled upon talking about every single week until this week. After reading the comments on the last video, I was super inspired by everyone's stories that I otherwise would not have heard about if it weren't for the internet and me posting that video. Us crossing paths probably would not have happened. That got me wondering how many stories and experiences, thoughts and feelings go unheard every single day and, might leave with the people. And those stories might never get told because of fear of judgment or maybe something worse. Something I've always thought I'm good at is listening and empathizing. I think I could empathize with every single person, and maybe I don't know if that's narcissistic. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good trait to have, being able to empathize with anybody, but I do genuinely believe that I can empathize with anybody, which makes me want to talk to everyone and hear more stories and experiences so that I can get more perspective in my own life, because I do feel like I'm a very naive person, and even though I've gone through so many experiences in my life, I know that there are things I'll never get to experience, so I want to hear about them through others. So I just want to give a stage to people that might want to share their stories or experiences, or maybe even just thoughts and feelings that they have without the fear of being judged or fearing somebody finding out or anything like that. Perhaps it's a silly idea, but if a podcast about people's stories and experiences sounds interesting to you, then let me know, and perhaps I can get in touch with a few people and see if they would, enjoy talking with me in kind of a very unserious setting. And again, I have no idea what the future holds. I don't know what my schedule's going to look like in a week or in a month, but all I know is that right now that's what I want to do. So I'm putting it out there. When I get an idea, I simply cannot stop. I don't know if that's a flaw or if that's a strength, but it feels like both. And I believe that's enough of me jabbering here, so let's get to some hobbying, shall we? Blender. I have given up on Blender so many times because there's always just something wrong with a project, always. And then it takes you hours to fix it. But it is something that I truly love. And I've always had this idea to make Twitch emotes in Blender, so I decided, why not try that? And, well, I fell into a rabbit hole. Now, I know I'm not a good dancer, but I just love feeling connected to music and don't really stop myself from moving in a way that I feel is correct, even if you don't feel it's correct. Reading. Reading gives me so much perspective and comfort. If it wasn't obvious, I love hearing others' experiences to gain perspective. Also, losing yourself in a fictional world can be just the relief you need when reality is just being a gigantic pain in the ass. Singing. I don't think I'm a good singer by any means of the word. But I sing because every once in a while I hit a note that surprises even myself. And it's always a bit of a dopamine rush. So I'm always yearning to hit that note again. All my life, it wasn't hard to realize love's the death, the peace of mind. When the curtains call the time, will we both be satisfied? Hard to realize love's the death, the peace of mind. Drumming. I started drumming back in January of 2023, and it's been a rocky road. Trying to learn drums and be a good apartment neighbor just isn't on the board together, so I don't really play much anymore since I don't want to be a burden on everyone around me, but I do love the instrument so much, even if I suck, which I most certainly do. Learning. Perhaps this doesn't count as a hobby, but I genuinely love to learn. I love taking notes and the feeling of finally being able to do something by myself. Painting. I started painting this year as well, and again, it is very much a love-hate relationship. I am often too hard on myself with creative hobbies because I feel as though I should be good immediately and hate the ugly process, is what I like to call it. However, I am working on accepting it because I think in my life journey right now, I am also in my ugly process, and all I want is to be accepted, so it's only fair that I give that to my art. Crocheting, my love. Crocheting is something I do when I am sad, when I'm angry, when I am happy, when I am tired. It's just so therapeutic to just see something start as a piece of yarn and come to life as something completely different. Sculpting. Although I didn't record me sculpting, I did make this little cloud boy sculpture, and then I made these cat pins that aren't finished painting, so they kind of look like nightmare fuel right now. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching. And again, if that podcast sounds like something you'd be interested in, just leave me a comment telling me to do it. Get up off my butt and do it. That was a whole lot of hobbies in a short amount of time, but it was very much needed. So swim on, starry koi, and may you find your place somewhere in this space pond. I realized that my dress socks that I usually wear didn't work with the shoes I had. I let the impulsive thoughts win today because I looked at my pair of socks and I looked at my pair of scissors and I thought, I'll just cut them. So I did.